Once the project is set up, budgeted, and staffed, we can now move into the project execution phase. As project work is completed, employees can enter their time and expenses. Dynamics AX can help your organization accelerate cash flow by easily capturing and approving project time and expenses and quickly passing that information along to your invoice. Dynamics AX offers several methods for entering project time and expenses, including through a web browser interface, through a snap-in to Microsoft Outlook, or through a phone or PDA running Windows Mobile. Regardless of which interface you use, these time or expense entries are passed through a predefined routing and approval process and then made available for invoicing. Let's take a look at the entry of project time through the Enterprise Portal browser interface. We're looking at the time entry process on the web browser portal. I'm logged in as per cash. If I have permission, I could enter time and expense for other individuals as well. So let's look at the list of the open timesheets that he has. Let's go to the end of our list and select the last timesheet that we've been working on. The top of the timesheet shows my summary hours so far to date. I've entered 40 hours for this week. And the line area shows each individual task or activity. I've worked on 3 or 4 different projects, doing some different type of roles on those projects from project manager to analyst, and I've entered a personal time off day for Friday as well. These daily activities can be loaded from my favorites list, from the previous week's timesheet, any other timesheets, or additionally from my scheduled activities. So I can quickly just select an activity, update the time, and then I'm good to go. When I've entered my timesheet, I simply come up to the top part of the screen here and hit the Submit button. This takes my timesheet, analyzes it, and sends it to the correct approver, whether it be by project or by my manager or by region, so that each individual time entry line is presented to the right manager for approval. The project manager, in turn, can simply come to their approval queue here. From the approval queue, they can view any timesheets, the details or comments attached, and make a decision whether it's appropriate to approve, return, or delegate this to another person. Once approved, it flows through both the billing and the payroll part of Dynamics AX. Just as we entered time against a project over the web, we can also enter project expenses. Let's go to the project expense area in the Enterprise Portal and select an expense for editing. The top portion of the screen shows my expense totals to date, $298, and the lower part of the screen shows the expense detail. Each time I select an expense category, the fields in the data that I capture automatically adjust to that type of expense. For instance, flight or hotel will accommodate the fields that are important for that type of expense. Rules are dynamically built into the expense processing for caps, per diem, any special billing rules on a client or a project basis. I can also attach and view expense receipts and upload credit card information automatically into the statement. So I can just come in here, modify a few details of my uploaded data, and then submit it for approval. And just as we saw in the time entry, expense entry workflow approvals can be directed by project, by type of expense, or any other rule criteria. Once I go up here and select Submit, my expense will go through the proper approval channel and be queued up for the manager that requires approval for that process.